A few years ago, Peter Windsor stated that the Jeddah Corniche circuit was far too dangerous. But now, the 73-year-old analyst admits that the Saudi Arabian track served as the stage for a brilliant qualifying session. Windsor witnessed Max Verstappen stun the field with yet another pole position and searched for the right words to do justice to Verstappen's performance. Qualifying in Jeddah seemed to be shaping up as a duel between the McLaren drivers, but Verstappen made it clear as early as Q1 that he couldn't be counted out. In Q3, Lando Norris crashed, after which Verstappen managed twice to edge out Oscar Piastri. In his YouTube analysis, Windsor points out that Piastri was actually handed a golden opportunity. Oscar Piastri looked set to take pole position, he says. This was a huge moment for him. Piastri could take the lead in the championship this weekend, but so could Verstappen, and even George Russell. Piastri posted the fastest time again, but then we had to wait for Max Verstappen, Windsor notes. He was the last to go out, after already having done a very fast lap. Red Bull almost had to perform a race-style pit stop to get him back out. That also means Verstappen drove his first Q3 lap with more fuel. Windsor can't hide his excitement over Verstappen's triumph. "He pulled it off!" he exclaims. He got his tires perfectly up to temperature for the first sector, which he didn't manage on his first Q3 run. Verstappen improved by no less than 3/10 in that first sector. Then he got into a rhythm that's so typical for him. He didn't even set personal bests in sectors 2 and 3, but he had enough top speed. Verstappen claimed pole position for Red Bull, a truly magnificent achievement, Windsor exclaims. I'd bet his heart rate was 20 to 30 beats lower than any other drivers in those final 5 minutes, probably only 95. This man is just that good, and he's only getting better. Windsor explains that Verstappen thrives in these tough situations. It's actually easier for Max to drive at the absolute limit of the car and become one with it than to drive slowly. This is just what he does, especially under pressure. He stood out as the clear performer under the extreme tension of this dangerous track. It was a beautiful pole position. Whether Lando Norris could have taken pole, we'll never know, says Windsor about his fellow Brit. Norris will now have to start the race from P10. The problem with Lando's driving style, and to a lesser extent Oscar's, is that he doesn't leave himself the margin for error. Max drives shorter corners, and thanks to his finesse in mid-corner, he always leaves room in case something goes wrong. Lando, and even more so George Russell, commit fully into the corner and then have no room left to correct. Oscar is also on the limit, but not as extremely as Russell. Oscar did make a few small mistakes in all his laps. He had to correct them by using more track. With Max, you won't spot a single error, even though he must have made some. He just corrects them so quickly, and that's the big difference. It was amazing to see. I don't think anyone would have predicted this pole position based on the free practice sessions. We did see in practice how fast Red Bull was on the straights. Under pressure, Max knew he didn't need to push to the absolute limit in the final 2 sectors. Because he had a top speed advantage, Windsor explains. He did an excellent job. The key was preparing the tires perfectly for the first sector. That's where he gained a lot of time. In the second sector, you mostly hope you don't run into a slow car. Verstappen did, however, encounter some traffic in turns 13 and 16. Windsor then shifts his focus to the race. The McLaren is definitely still the faster race car, so it'll be difficult for Max to win in this DRS world. Of course, it's possible. He's good enough. The car is quick, but the best race car is, without a doubt, the McLaren. Windsor is looking forward to it. One of the great things about 2025 is that we're seeing Max in a less dominant car. It's always fantastic to watch these top-level drivers perform in inferior machinery. It's incredible to see how he's getting the best out of the RB21. The 2025 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix qualifying was more than just a timesheet. It was a story of pressure, precision, and the kind of genius that emerges only in the most intense of moments. Max Verstappen didn't just take pole. He reminded the world that greatness isn't defined by having the best car, but by being the best when it counts the most.